Our last semi-finalist is a lifelong quiz competitor and science communicator with a deep fascination for the earth beneath our feet. He's a fourth-year geology student at UP Diliman, and his journey into the science of natural disasters was sparked by the 2020 Taal eruption. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BQB, Alan, Gabriel, Gabby Fetalbo. All right. Welcome back, Gabby. I knew you were gonna try something new this time around. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, choose your fighter. These contenders are all set to duke it out for the spotlight, for huge cash prizes, and of course, the bragging rights as our second Bilyonaryo Quiz B grand finalist. But before we dive into the competition, let's first clarify the rules of this semi-final match. Each Bilyonaryo Quiz B semi-final episode raises the stakes for our weekly winners with increasingly challenging questions testing different aspects of their knowledge in history, science and technology, arts and literature, math and logic, geography and nature, and general information. As in our regular episodes, the questions will be read out here in the BQB studio. Unlike our viewers at home, however, our students do not have the advantage of reading the questions on screen. So contestants, listen very carefully. After 2 grueling rounds, only the contestants with the highest score will move on to today's bonus round, and ultimately to the Battle Royale of Wits and Reflexes at the Bilyonaryo Quiz B Season 1 Grand Finals. But first, he or she must survive round 1. We begin with 12 questions worth 2,000 pesos each. The first contestant to buzz gets to answer. Correct answers earn money points, while incorrect answers give the remaining opponents a chance to steal. It's time for our weekly winners to duke it out in round number 1. Let the Bilyonaryo Quiz B semifinals begin. Oh yeah, this is exciting. It's the semifinals. We're looking for one more slot in our grand finals coming up soon in a couple of months. Now remember, contestants, after buzzing in, you have to wait for me first to acknowledge you as the right person buzzing first. Otherwise, you might blurt out your answer and give away that answer for free. Now you don't want that, okay? So be careful and let's go on to our first round. We'll start with history in round number 1. In what Asian city did the so-called Umbrella Revolution take place? Ian?
Hong Kong.
That is correct. It was Hong Kong. Took place in 2014. I think you all knew that, but Ian was first. Let's go to our next question. Oh, by the way, umbrella, because that's what they use to protect themselves from of course, the projectiles and, of course, the tear gas and other things that were thrown at them by the security forces. So go to next question, science and technology. While in the bath, who reportedly exclaimed, Eureka? Ian again.
Archimedes.
That's right, Archimedes. On discovering the principle of water displacement. Again, you all knew that answer, but you're gonna have to be quick to the draw. Let's go to our next question. Question number 3 is arts and literature. The first Google Doodle honoring a Filipino includes an illustration of him at work and that of a romantic couple in a faraway kingdom. Who was this Filipino literary icon? The first Google Doodle. Gabby?
Napoleon Abueva.
Napoleon Abueva, the sculptor, no. Javier, try it.
Guillermo Tolentino.
That's also wrong. Time's up. Francisco Balagtas, also known as Francisco Baltazar. Of course, we all know him for his Florante at Laura, and that was the work that I was describing. Couple in a faraway kingdom, Florante at Laura. Next question. For 2,000 points still, math and logic. What anagram of latitude is a term for the height of a triangle or an object? Ian?
Altitude.
Correct, altitude. An anagram, of course, means rearranging letters to form a different word. And if you were to rearrange altitude, you get latitude, right? Think about it, latitude from altitude. Next question. Question number 5 is geography and nature. Once the apex predator of the oceans. Javier?
The Great White Shark.
Again?
Great White. No.
Sorry, great white shark was your answer. Wrong.
Great White Shark.
Once, Gabby wants to steal.
Megalodon.
Megalodon is the answer. Once the apex predator of the oceans, what massive prehistoric creature is a subject of such Hollywood films such as The Black Demon, Leviathan, and The Meg? You took a risk. It's okay, Javier. But of course, sometimes it pays to finish the question. Let's go to our next question. According to our Constitution, this is in general information, if you want to become president of the Philippines, you must be at least how many years old? Gabby was first.
40 years old.
Yes, it is 40 years old. You have to be at least 40 years old on election day. Okay, next question in history. So this is a picture quiz. I'll be asking you to look at our screens, and I'll give you a clue describing this picture. So, here it is. What is a popular two-word title of the landmark book? Javier?
Baybayin.
Again?
Baybayin.
Baybayin. No. Ayan?
Doctrina Christiana.
Yes, it is the Doctrina Christiana. Popular two-word title of the landmark book that contains this particular page among so many other pages. It was the Doctrina Christiana, one of the two earliest books printed in the Philippines in 1593. Next question is in science and technology. First used in 2018 and abbreviated as FH. What powerful space launch rocket was partly named after a legendary vehicle, the Star Wars film franchise? FH. FH. Spaceship starts with FH. Javier?
Millennium Falcon.
No. Ian?
Falcon Heavy.
Yes, Falcon Heavy. After the Millennium Falcon of Han Solo, Falcon or SpaceX Falcon would have been the correct answer. Not the same as the Millennium Falcon of Han Solo. Okay, next question. Arts and literature. To reflect his Filipino identity by wearing a traditional garment, national artist and independent film pioneer Eric De Guia also legally changed his name to what? Ian?
Kidlat Tahimik.
Yes, he changed his name to Kidlat Tahimik. Eric De Guia. His most famous film was Perfumed Nightmare. Okay? Mababangong bangungot. And here's a trivia for you UP students. He was once the student council president of UP Diliman. Okay? Eric De Guia. Next question. I'll read the question twice. This is in mathematics and logic. Okay? Maria has twice as many brothers as sisters. Her brother Miguel has the same number of brothers as sisters. How many siblings are there in their family? Again, Javier?
8.
Wrong. Again, Maria has twice as many brothers as sisters. Her brother Miguel has the same number of brothers as sisters. How many siblings are there in their family? Gabby?
7.
Yes, 7 is the correct answer. So 3 girls plus 4 boys is 7 siblings. 7 all in all. Very close, Javier. You chose 8. Just one more than the correct answer. Question number 11. Geography and nature. On its 25th anniversary in 2023, Google revealed that the most searched world landmark of all time is what European attraction? Javier.
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower is correct. 2,000 points for you, Javier. Would you know the second most searched?
Architrium.
It's the Colosseum, actually, in Rome. Colosseum. And third would be the Buckingham Palace, okay? So remember, the Eiffel Tower, as of today, who knows? In a year, there might be a different answer to that question. All right, that brings us now to our last question. And this is for 2,000 points. Javier, Gabby, your chance to catch up with Ian, who's way out in the lead with 12,000 points. But we all know what's going to happen next after this round. It's going to be 3,000 pesos for every correct answer, plus that 6,000 peso or 6,000 point Bilyonaryo booster. Okay? So it's all up in the air, but let's see where it goes with this final question. General information. According to the Oxford University Press, what is the most commonly used word in spoken English? Javier?
Muggle.
Wrong. Most commonly used word in spoken English. Ian?
The.
The is correct. That is correct. The. Most sentences start with the. And therefore, the is indeed the most used English word, at least according to the Oxford University Press. B, 2 of, those are close to the, in the top of the list. All right, interesting competition that's unfolding before our eyes. Ian is in the lead with 14,000 points. That's 14,000 pesos already in the bag, in the wallet for you. Gabby has 6,000 pesos already with him. Javier has 2,000 pesos with him. But of course, as I said earlier, you never know who's gonna move on to the semifinal round and our bonus round, because up next, we're gonna give out 3,000 points now for every correct answer. All right, It's only gonna get more intense from here on, so we'll find out who our next grand finalist will be when Bilyonaryo Quiz B returns right after this break. Keep it here. Let's listen in to our regulations. In round 2 of our semifinals episode, the game mechanics remain the same, but a 3,000 peso price tag now accompanies each difficult question. With the exception, of course, of the semifinals Bilyonaryo Booster, which is worth 6,000 pesos. Double the amount, double the thrill. That's an automatic 6,000 pesos that could literally be a game changer for one lucky contestant. At the end of this knockout round, 2 contestants with the lowest scores will be eliminated. If round 2 ends in a tie, the game goes into a sudden death tiebreaker, where the first contestant to answer correctly wins. Let's see who comes out on top of round 2 of the Bilyonaryo Quiz B semifinals. Let's begin round number 2 with a question in history, and we're looking at first Filipinas, or Filipina firsts. In 1973, Cecilia Munoz Palma. Yes, Javier.
Associate Justice. Supreme Court.
Correct. Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. In 1973, Cecilia Munoz Palma became the first female to be appointed to what Philippine judicial position? Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, or Justice of the Supreme Court. Question number 2 is science and technology. We're looking at scientific greats. It's a picture quiz. Let's take a look at our screens. What titan of technology? Javier.
Tesla.
Okay, there's only one Tesla. Nikola Tesla. All right, that's correct. We do allow that, yes. What titan of technology is associated with this iconic image from 1899? That is, of course, Nikola Tesla and his huge magnifying transmitter. Actually, a trick, an optical illusion in a way. It's a double exposure. But of course, this was his pioneering effort. Okay, so you have 8,000 points now. That's how quickly the fortunes change. Gabby, 6,000. That's how fast you can catch up. Ian, of course, you want to protect your lead. Let's go to our next question. Question number 3 is arts and literature. Literary terms. Derived from French, what term describes a novel in which actual people or events are represented in disguised form, as by the use of fictitious names? It literally means novel with a key. 5 seconds. Time's up. Novel with a key, French, roman à clef. Roman à clef. That's a tough one. But this is the second round after all. Questions are slightly more difficult than the previous one. Next question is math and logic, units of measure. If giga is a prefix for 1 billion, peta is a prefix for how much? Ian?
Quadrillion.
Quadrillion is the correct answer. Or 1 quadrillion. That's 10 raised to the 15th power. All right, this is a seesaw battle now. This is getting very interesting. Let's move on to our next question. In geography and nature, natural wonders this time, okay? Natural wonders. Discovered under the Philippine Sea in 2019. Gabby? Our geology student.
Palawan Underground River. Puerto Princesa Underground River.
Wrong. This, Talian?
Benham Rice.
Wrong. You might want to wait for me to finish this question, or you want to answer?
Finish it.
Discovered under the Philippine Sea in 2019 and measuring 150 kilometers in diameter. The world's largest volcanic caldera bears what gigantic name from Tagalog mythology? You knew this, Gabby. Javier.
Okinawa.
That's wrong. The answer is, would you know?
Apolaki.
Apolaki.
Yes, Apolaki is the correct answer. It's okay. Apolaki, son of Bathala and god of the sun and war, the giant lord. Apolaki is the correct answer. Don't worry, guys. Still early in the game. Question number 6 now. General information, signs and symbols. We're looking for signs and symbols. Okay, so in astrology, how many signs of the Western zodiac are represented by arthropods? Of course, you have to know what an arthropod is to answer the question. Gabby?
3.
Wrong. Ian?
1.
Wrong. Javier?
8.
No. Just 2. 2. Cancer and Scorpio. So there are only 2 that you think about it. Cancer, Scorpio. Next question. This is politics and economics for 3,000 points again. in explaining his pragmatic economic philosophy? All right, Javier.
Adam Smith.
Wrong. Let me finish, or steal if you want to. In explaining his pragmatic economic philosophy, what Chinese leader said, "It doesn't matter whether a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice." Ayan?
Deng Xiaoping.
Yes, it was Deng Xiaoping. And Deng Xiaoping was credited with moving China away from a centrally planned economy into a market or socialist market economy. Okay? Deng Xiaoping, or just simply Deng. Next question. Science and technology. In physics, what term refers to the minimum amount of... Javier.
Activation energy.
No, that's not correct. You took the risk. In physics, what term refers to the minimum amount of fissionable material needed to sustain a nuclear chain reaction? Ayan.
Critical mass.
It is critical mass. Which means when a neutron hits an atom, it splits and releases more neutrons that in turn trigger further fission, so on and so on down the line. All right, question number 9 is a Bilyonaryo booster question for 6,000 points. I'm not sure if it's possible for Gabby or Javier to catch up, but let's see, to take home more cash with you. Our booster question is in classical music. Often heard at graduation rites. The triumphal march is from the opera Aida by what Italian composer? Who is the Italian composer of the Aida? Javier?
Halden.
No. Gabby?
Claude Debussy.
No. He's not Italian, he's French.
Puccini.
Well, close enough. He's Italian. An opera composer as well. Giuseppe Verdi. The Triumphal March. Next time you march in your graduation, and it's the Aida Triumphal March, which was set in Egypt, by the way. Yep, that's gonna be that's gonna haunt you forever. Next question. Question number 10. Math and logic. Mental math is all you need here. I will read the question twice. 2 cyclists travel at speeds in the ratio of 4:5. If the faster cyclist is going 40 kilometers per hour. All right, that's very good. Javier?
50 kilometers.
How many?
50.
50 kilometers, no. Gabby?
200 kilometers.
No, I can finish the question for Ian. If the faster cyclist is going 40 kilometers per hour, how fast is a slower cyclist? Ian, come on.
32.
Yes, 32. That was right exactly at the time, 32. 40 over 5 is equal to 8, and of course 8 times 4 gives you 32. Ian is way out in the lead, but of course, Gabby, Javier, you've done fantastic so far. You're up against some really quick competition, very fast with the buzzer as well. You're all buzzing at the same time, but you can take home more cash with you. Let's go to our second to the last question. Nature and geography. We're looking at famous animals here, okay? Who was the first biological offspring? Javier?
Dolly.
No. Who was the first biological offspring of a pair of avians named Jola and Junior? Jola and Junior. Animal Biotech. UPLB. Okay. Your teachers will be hounding you for not answering this. Pag-asa. Pag-asa. The first Philippine eagle, bred and hatched in captivity in 1992, was the first biological offspring of this pair. And that brings us to our last question. And this is in general information, the origin of words. Okay? What type of reference work or compendium got its name from a Greek phrase that means circle of knowledge or learning? What type of reference work or compendium of knowledge got its name from a Greek phrase that means circle of knowledge or learning? Gabby?
Encyclopedia.
Yes, it is encyclopedia. 3,000 points for you. Amazing, amazing. Congratulations to Ian, but Javier, I have to thank you so much. That was a valiant effort. You did fantastic. Every reason to be proud. Same with you, Gabby. Same with you.
Thank you.
You know, if you beat this guy over here, he would have regretted telling you to join the competition, right? But of course, we only have one champion who'll move on to the semifinals, and it is Ian, of course. And whoa, I'm a little nervous because this is like going so fast. The scores don't reflect just how tight this was. So indeed, it was a very, very thrilling round. Now, after some incredibly close calls, we have a clear winner who is guaranteed a spot in the grand finals, and that is Ian over here. But the thrills don't stop here. Another exciting part of today's semifinal is still up when Bilyonaryo Quiz B returns. Welcome back to Bilyonaryo Quiz B. Tonight we've seen brilliance, we've seen perseverance, and the kind of competition that keeps us on the edge of our seats. At least I was on the edge of my seat, so to speak. Now here we are with Ian, who is our second grand finalist, and he's ready to face another hurdle, our lightning fast bonus round. You've been here before, Ian, but of course, for the sake of our viewers, let's listen into what the mechanics are.
Welcome to the Bilyonaryo bonus round, which is brought to you by Playtime Cares. Our finalist has two new opponents to defeat, a 60-second clock, and a set of 10 questions worth 4,000 pesos each. As in our previous bonus rounds, the contestant may take their time answering, or say pass, and move on to the next question. But they must remember that in round 3, there are no do-overs. Once a question is skipped, it's discarded and will not be asked again. Let's wish our contestants luck as they begin the Bilyonaryo Quiz B semifinals bonus round.
All right, you have how much? 26,000 pesos so far. If you get this all correct perfectly, you get another 40,000. That's a whopping amount of money to take home with you. But of course, the grand finals is waiting for you. But let me just ask you, Ian, how does it feel getting this far?
I did not expect to get this far, to be honest.
Right,
But,
you're up against some tough competition.
yes, but now that I'm here, I guess I have to do my best.
And you're doing it with your best voice possible.
Oh, yes, I'll try.
All right. All right, so you know the drill. So I'm going to ask you to look at the screen over here. We have 3 categories. Each one, of course, is vaguely titled, but clues are embedded within each. Is it headline makers you prefer, The Empire Strikes Back, or Test Your IQ?
I would like to take The Empire Strikes Back.
What do you think we're looking for in Empire Strikes Back? Star Wars?
I'm thinking Star Wars, but I'm also thinking empires in history.
You are correct. Empires in history, and that's quite easy. So let's get ready for this round. So 10 questions about famous empires throughout world history. Okay, non-fictional empires. Okay, so let's go. At its height, this empire stretched from the Yellow Sea to the Caspian Sea. Yellow Sea.
Mongol Empire.
The empire built aqueducts and massive road networks.
Roman Empire.
It was the largest empire in pre-Columbian America.
The Inca Empire.
Its rulers included Cyrus the Great and Xerxes the First.
Persian Empire.
For this empire, chocolate was more precious than gold.
Aztec Empire.
The name of this Southeast Asian empire means shining victory.
Majapahit. Empire.
This vast empire ended with the sudden death of its monarch at age 32. One of the largest
Macedonian
empires.
Empire.
It was also known as the Eastern Roman Empire.
Byzantine Empire.
African Empire ruled by the super wealthy Mansa Musa.
Mali Empire.
Macau was a former colony of this European empire.
Portuguese Empire.
At its height, nope, we're done with 10 questions. Let's review your questions. Remember, this time it's 4,000 pesos each. Okay, at its height, from the Yellow Sea all the way to the Caspian Sea, that's right, this is the Mongol Empire. From China all the way to Eastern Europe, or to the Balkans, that's right. This empire built aqueducts and massive road networks. You said?
Roman.
Of course, Roman Empire. It was the largest empire in pre-Columbian America. In the Andes, Incan Empire is correct. Its rulers included Cyrus the Great, Xerxes the First, among many other famous rulers. The Persian empires or the Iranian empires, Achaemenid Empire, also correct. All right, this was tricky. The name of the Southeast Asian empire means shining victory. You said Majapahit Empire.
Yes.
It is the Srivijaya Empire, yes. Now, this vast empire ended with the sudden death of its monarch at age 32. Of course, Alexander the Great. Macedonian Empire. So far, so good. Just one that wasn't correct. It was also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. Yes, the Byzantine Empire or Byzantium, or the Eastern Roman Empire. African Empire ruled by Mansa Musa, known for his gold, hoard of gold. Mali is correct. And Macau was a former colony of the Portuguese Empire. Indeed it was. Is that 9 out of 10? Wow! 36,000 plus 26,000, 62,000 pesos. Ayan. Pahingi naman ng pera. Okay. Blow off mamaya. Okay. Wow. So how does it feel? Apart from the money, of course, but just moving on to the grand finals.
Oh, it feels good. This is going to be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to that challenge.
Oh, I'm going to be looking forward to it as well. And see how you do in our grand finals. Wow. Amazing. That was truly an electrifying semifinals episode. So a huge thanks, of course, to our contestants for showing their brilliance and determination, and to our fantastic audience for cheering them on. We hope to see you all on the Bilyonaryo Quiz B official Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts that you see on your screens. Now, don't miss next week's episode as the battle for the grand prize heats up. Stay tuned to Bilyonaryo Quiz B. Good night, and keep striving for excellence. Never forget, this is our motto, and you must remember it all the time. Knowledge is your greatest asset in life. Congratulations.